Okay, on this video we're going to leave off where we're going to start where we left off on the race analysis video and carry on to complete the race sheet and allocate the pools. So once you're satisfied that all your members' velocities are correct, don't forget, I mean, if you need to, you can always delete birds from the scoreboard. You just click on the bird you want and click delete record. So now we will move on to completing the race sheet and allocating the pools. So we'll go down here and we'll click on complete race sheet, and this will fetch a form that sets up the race sheet. As you can see, the liberation point, liberation time and the race date have already been put in. So we'll put in the wind conditions, and if there's a message from the secretary that you might want the members to know about, you can put it in this box down here, and then we'll click on continue. Now this will fetch up complete sheet and allocate prizes. If we have a look at this at the moment, you'll see this top part here concerns the pigeons. There's 1 of 16 to process on this form. Obviously, normally on a normal race day, your first 20 birds would be included on the race sheet and sent off to the federation. The bottom part concerns pools, and if you have a look there, you've got members in the current pools, and that's all the members that were in the race. And over here you've got the prize pools, prize A, B and C. Up the top you've got reset members pools. I'll go through that a bit later on, and once you've entered all 16 birds in, you can click on finish. So we'll carry on now, and it's asking bird number 1 for Mr. Watts. Now obviously this information you would get from the race sheet that was printed out if they're on ETS of their arrival times, or information off their race sheets attained from their T3 clocks that was entered onto the sheet by the clock setters. Right, so we'll just make some numbers up here because this is just a demonstration video and I haven't got that information. So we'll say WHU 10N, and we'll say it's a cockbird and it's blue, and we'll say that this bird was entered into the A and the B pools, so he took A and B. So we'll click on Mr. Watts down here, and you'll see allocate pools to F. Watts brothers. As we know, he's in pools A and B, so we'll tick him off A and B in prize A. Click on allocate pools to the member and update the total 1. As you can see, with those 2 pools, that pigeon has won £6.15 up to now. So we'll click on the next record, and it's asking for bird number 1 for GH Waters. We'll say this is a hen and it's a checker, and we'll say this bird was his 2 bird and his nominated pigeon, so the pools that you'll get will be A, B, C, D, E, F and G. Right, if we click on Mr. Waters here, you can see allocate pools for Mr. Waters. Now you'll notice that prize A pool A and B have been disabled, so they're no longer available to allocate pools. So the A and the B out of the pools Mr. Waters has won will be taken out of prize B, and the rest of them out of prize A, and we'll update him, and you can see that nominated pigeon from Mr. Waters won him £26.13, as he was the first 2 bird and the nominated pigeon as well. So we'll click on to the next pigeon, and we'll say A1, A, B, C, D. So we'll click on, that's the herd, A, B, C and D. So we got A, B, C and D, and we'll update the total. And Mr. Beresford next, bird number 1 for Mr. Beresford. And we'll say he had pool C. So Mr. Beresford is on pool C. The next record, second bird for Mr. Beresford. That's a hen, that's a checker white flight, and we'll say this was his 2 bird. So it would have been pulled all the way, but the only pools left remaining are D, E and F, which would be his 2 bird. So we'll allocate D, E and F and update, and you'll see it'll update his total. And the first bird for Mr. Thompson. And we'll say that this bird, he was pooled, so we'll give him pool E, because that's all that's left, and update his total. And as you can see, that's all the pools taken. Now if you do find you make a mistake allocating pools, then you can reset a member's pools, and this will reset their pools to 0. So let's say we made a mistake with Mr. Thompson. You just click on Mr. Thompson, it'll show he's got pool E in prize 3 and he's won £1.60. Now if it was made a mistake, you can reset the pools here to 0, and let's say Mr. Beresford, you can see the pools he's won, the prize money he's won and the total. So you just reset the pools to 0. So we'll just click OK on that. And we will carry on now, put in the rest of the birds in. Obviously all the pools have been allocated, so we'll just carry on through them. By pressing the tab key on this, it will scroll through these. Once you finish all the pools, just hit the tab key to move through each field rather than having to reposition it with the mouse. is it? Maybe we just go back and I thought so. I'd missed it. Number there. Right, that's all the birds entered there, and the prize is allocated. So now we'll click on finish, and it will show you your race sheet. If we have a closer look at the race sheet, you'll see you've got the liberation information up the top, wind condition. Then you've actually got the positions here: position, the owner, flying times, miles, yards, velocities, ring number, sex, colour, and pool allocated. And underneath that, some information on the pools. There's a total of £50, 65 pence taken in pools, distributed between 7 pools. 0% of the pools retained by the club, so the whole amount was paid out. Underneath that then you have got your pool prize, and under that there's the owner and the amount of pools paid out to each person. If you'd have put a message into the box that said message from the secretary, that would have come out down under here. And that is your race sheet, which would be printed out for your members, obviously a copy sent off to the Federation. So we'll close that down now. Fetches it back to the sub menu. If you click on return to the main menu, it'll say you have finished analysing the race. Do you want to update the averages now? So if you click on yes, it'll fetch up the averages menu, and you just click update averages. Averages have been updated, and you can, it was an old bird race, so you can see on here, you can see average velocity. Obviously this is the only race being marked, so it's taken the velocity from the first pigeon of each member and put it on into this table, and over the course of the season these averages will be updated to represent the true average of the old bird season. Any members who qualify for the averages will be listed down here at the end of the season, but this will print out averages for all your members of the club, so each member can see what their average for the season was. But obviously the qualifying members will be picked from the list of qualifying members for averages. So we'll close that down now, and that was completing the race sheet and allocating pools.